Alright, so we back with another video, bro. Today we're gonna be ranking the we're gonna be pretty much starting the series of ranking the 2Ks. Now after this, I do plan on doing like all different types of videos for the ranking the 2Ks when it comes to the parks, the build systems. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be doing a lot of different things like that. So if y'all do have any ideas of what I should rank in the 2Ks, let me know. I was gonna rank a lot of that stuff, maybe even dribble systems and all that type of stuff. But today we're gonna be just ranking the 2Ks. If y'all do want more videos like this, more tier lists, because we are at the end of the year, so we just gonna be giving y'all some extra stuff that I usually wouldn't do throughout the year. Like the video, subscribe, obviously. Without further ado though, no more talking, let's get into it. Alright, so hopping into it, I'm not doing it like I did in previous years. I'm only gonna be ranking games that I vividly remember playing, and yeah, that's pretty much what it is. If I have any type of memory playing, I'm gonna be ranking it today. Now, also, I will be ranking current gen, next gen when there was crossover and I actually did play it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I will be ranking those separately today. Now, with that being said, let's get straight into the tiers. We got the best tier. That's gonna be arguably the best 2K ever. Peak fun or nostalgia. Now that is gonna be a tier for if I remember it only for the good things. I know it's 2K. You know what I'm saying? That's probably gonna go in that tier. Like that's just what that's kind of how nostalgia works. When you only remember stuff for how good it was, that's literally what nostalgia is to me. Peak fun, that's understandable what that is. Underrated, I may get rid of underrated, to be honest, bro. That may be some of the games that should go there. Probably should go like peak fun or nostalgia, but for the most part, I'm gonna go, yeah. Good is just good. That ain't it. It's pretty much, you know what I'm saying, in between good or trash. You could also call it mid. And then we got trash. Okay, so let's get into it. I think I stopped putting mid because I did one of these and people was like, bro, mid is the same thing as trash, ain't it? And I'm like, bro, I don't know how people, I don't even know how that came about, but pretty much this is what mid is. Above average, below average, you got average, good, trash, in between, you got mid. It's the same thing, you feel me? It's the same thing. Let's get into it. 2K5, this is the first 2K I ever played. I played this in 2K6 for years, bro. We wasn't really just buying every 2K that came out new, because I'm gonna be honest, it really wasn't no point. Like, they didn't have my career at this point. You was really playing with your team and you was just doing that. This may show my age, to be honest, because I'm not gonna lie, I be seeing some of y'all be talking about like, bro, I remember when I was 6 years old playing 2K20. Like, that's crazy. You feel me? That's crazy. But yeah, 2K5, clearly nostalgia. Don't really remember too much about it, to be honest. Honestly, I'm gonna just put good, because I feel like nostalgia, I do remember some things about it, to be honest, and it all not good. I'm gonna just say 2K5 was the first 2K I ever played, so I'm gonna put it good instead of like peak fun and nostalgia. 2K6, same thing. Probably shouldn't even be ranking these. Now 2K9, I literally don't know. I put it on here. I played it at my homie house one time growing up. Didn't really play it any other times, but except if I was going to a bro house. We used to do like tournaments and stuff on there. That game was pretty fun, bro. I'm not gonna lie, but it's not as good as those two games in my opinion, because I don't have the memory as I have of those two games. So I'm gonna put it in the same tier though, and we just gonna keep it moving. 2K10. Now this game was actually pretty fun. Now, I didn't play this game when it was out, but after the fact, I went back and played a game mode. They had dunk contest. Now, if you played 2K11, 2K12, 2K13, they had a dunk contest on 2K10 that they didn't have on any of those other games, and it didn't play the same way. They had like a thing you could invite your friends to play, and the dunk control system was actually tough. Now, is it like the NBA Live dunk contest that people be showing and stuff like that? No, but this was just a lot more accessible with it being on 360, and you can invite your friends to play. It wasn't just against CPUs. So that was pretty fun. I do remember playing this a lot. Honestly, I would say it's underrated. I think the reason why it's underrated is because the next two 2Ks were really, really good. 2K11, that is a GOAT level 2K. That is a all-time 2K. That is in debates as the best 2K ever for a reason. A lot of stuff that we see today, this was the blueprint. I don't remember if this one or 10 brought my career first. I believe it was 10. But I didn't play it until 11. But 11, it went deeper on it. It brought crew mode. It brought so many big time things in crew mode. Like, was really what established what we have now in terms of city and all this extra stuff that we have. So in my opinion, 11 is either peak fun or nostalgia. I'm gonna say it's in the conversation for the best. 2K12, I think 2K12 is really, really good. I just don't think it's as good as 11. Honestly, I don't have the best memory of it, to be honest. I would say it's good though. I would put it above 2K5 for sure. I'll put it above 2K5. Actually, it's over 10. Underrated is a weird tier. Underrated is just a weird tier. I'm gonna honestly put both of those in underrated then. I'm gonna put it there because it was surrounded by 11. It did take out crew mode and stuff like that, but it did bring like the little black top online stuff that you could do with your friends if you want to play 3v3 with your friends and stuff like that. That was tough. 2K13, I think this is the game that brought my team. Now, my team on this game was actually tough. It was like a stock market. That was super tough, but the gameplay of this game was actually horrible. You couldn't block anybody. I did this tier list before and people was going crazy on me because I said that. That is quite literally a fact. You couldn't block anybody on there, bro. Like, nah, this is one of the worst 2Ks ever. It's not, in my opinion, it's not really debatable. It did have some fun stuff about it. Like, I'm gonna be honest, the online associations, I didn't even bring this up from 2K10 to 2K11 or to 2K12, were the peak game modes of these games. Like the creator legends, the crew modes, the playing micro with your player and stuff like that. That was peak. That was peak gaming at the time. I'm not gonna lie. But 2K13, it took a step back because the gameplay just wasn't what it just wasn't to the level of those other three, in my opinion. I would say this ain't it. I'm not gonna say trash because there's two games that I would probably argue for sure need to be there. But yeah, this ain't it for sure. 2K14, current gen. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I have more memory of current gen 2K14 than I do of next gen 2K14. I played next gen 2K14 much more. But people forget all the issues 2K14 next gen had when it first came out, man. Won't lie, but we're gonna get into it. But 2K14, the gameplay was such a step up from 2K13, not even close. My team was low-key worse because they got rid of the stock market, but it was still pretty good. The play now online was very good. The association online was very good. They still had creator legend in my memory, but they also brought back crew mode, but it wasn't the same way as 2K11. Honestly, in my opinion, 2K14 is underrated. I'll put it as the second best 2K of that era, in my opinion. I think 2K14 current gen was super good personally. But next gen, I'm gonna be honest, this is kind of like ruined 2K because the jump graphically that we got from 360 to Xbox One or PlayStation 4, whatever you played, the jump graphically that we got was insane. Insane. Like that alone, like ruined expectations for 2K every year after that. I'm not gonna lie, because now we at a point where people even compare the graphics right now to that game. You know what I'm saying? And people still say 2K14 has the best graphics we've ever seen. So yeah, especially lighting. Lighting may not be debatable. I'm not gonna lie. But 2K14, I'm not gonna lie, the issues that this game had, the servers were like, this was peak 2K terrible servers. Now, I used to say, bro, I can't really compare any game's bad servers to any. I can't say it's bad because of 2K14, bro. They were literally, you would spin VC and lose players and you wouldn't get compensated for it. Like, you would spend a month on a player, lose the player, and have to start over. That was a regular thing. I had 381 overalls, and at that point in time, like, bro, I was a kid. Like, I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? That was a big deal. I lost 3 of them in a 2-month span, and I just kept making new players because I wanted to play the game. It was a really fun game. Like, but you gotta think about all the stuff they did. They brought the crazy graphics, the new story mode. Now, the acting was outrageous, but that was still so cool and fun and innovative for the time. They did low-key troll online association. I gotta talk about that as well. But honestly, I'm gonna have to say it's good. I can't say it's underrated because of all the issues that it did have. I think a lot of nostalgia kind of clouds the judgment of that one. But yeah, now 15. That's the epitome of peak nostalgia. That's the epitome of peak nostalgia, brother. I'm not gonna lie, if 15 came out right now, I don't know how much people would like it with how good people are at 2K now. I think the pandemic and everybody trying to be a streamer and YouTuber kind of ruin gaming. I do see people for what they saying with that. But 15, bro, peak fun, peak nostalgia. I'm not gonna lie. In the moment, it was extremely fun. And looking back on it, everybody has crazy nostalgia because people forget how wild the stuff was on that game, the demigod glitch. Now, you can look at that as a positive or a negative. I look at it as an extreme positive because the fun on the game went up to a whole nother level. Personally, I met a lot of the people that I play with still to this day on 2K15. That's a fact. Let me think of some other stuff. Jordan Wreck. Oh man, Kiss. Now I won't lie. If that came today, I do think it should be an option. I think we have so many options of playing. If that low key, there's literally no point of the Wreck right now. We have Proving Grounds. If they want to have Proving Grounds, Pro-Am and the Wreck, change the Wreck to what it used to be. We literally have Pro-Am. If we have a full 5, we can go in there. We have Proving Grounds. If we want to play, if you want to just go into the 5v5 Proving Grounds, you can play there. Brother, literally make the Jordan Wreck. Bring that back. Bring it like how it used to be. It's literally no point. I talked about that. By the time y'all see this video, y'all will already see that wish list. This is literally the perfect way to be able to have all 3 game modes and it not be crossover. The people that want to sit there and like have a streak on the court as a Jordan Wreck like you used to do on 15, there you go. Bro, there was no better time to do that than 2K25 when they literally brought back Proving Grounds too. Because it was the 10-year anniversary of 2K15. 2K fumbled that. I'm not gonna lie. 2K fumbled that. That would have been a stupid good idea. But yeah, bro, the parks with the affiliations, oh my goodness. The micro was way better on this game than it was on 14. Server issues weren't the same. I do think the servers from 14 to 7, I almost didn't say 18. 14 to 18 were diabolical. There were some pretty crazy like instances of what has happened with the servers. You got the park after darks with 2K17. You got 18 where you were losing your players again, but it wasn't to the level of next gen 2K14. 16 had its issues. 15 had its issues. I wouldn't say on the level of 17, 18, and 14 though, personally. But I do think 15, it did a lot for the game. It brought the rep system. It did a lot for the game, bro. And I think a lot of the stuff that 2K14, like, I'm not gonna lie, people don't realize how big of steps 2K was taking. 2K11 was like the first real huge step. Maybe 2K10. 2K10 was a huge step. 2K11 was another huge step. And then you could probably say 2K13 was another huge step with the My Team. Then they took another huge step, 2K14 next gen with the graphics and the story mode. Then they took a whole nother, the entire park stuff. Oh nah, 2K14 brought perks. I forgot about that. 2K14 did bring parks. I may gotta bring 14 up, bro. It had its, nah, I gotta bring 14 up. 14 was very impactful. I'm not gonna lie, that was the first game with parks. So yeah, I gotta do that. But 15 brought affiliations, the rep system, and all that stuff. Actually, did 14 have a rep system? I don't remember having a rep system. I don't remember. I really don't remember that. But yeah, I think 15 is clearly a better game than 14, personally, looking back at it. It did have its issues, but it was extremely, this is peak fun. This is probably the most fun 2K I ever played. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah. 16 is the 2K that is in the convos for the best 2K all time. The only thing I would say that really holds it back is the fact that it didn't have if you green, you could miss. That was the only thing. Outside of that, my personal opinion, I can't really say too much. Now, I will say, a lot of people complain about builds being nerfed and buffed. They literally buffed builds and nerfed builds that year twice, significantly. Early on, the 5-7 builds was real meta. They nerfed the hell out of those builds. And then they took out something, or they put something in, and then 6-7 balance and outsides was so OP. So yeah, 16 was very, very good. Very, very good. 17 is good. I do think for a lot of people, this will be peak fun nostalgia. But I do think it can kind of be a little overrated. But it is better than some of those games I haven't underrated, to be honest. So I'm not going. It's not underrated, but I'll say it's here. I'm gonna honestly say this, but that doesn't really make sense. I need to say great, because underrated is not fair. It's not a fair one. I'm gonna say great. And I'll keep it there. So I'm gonna say this is. I'm gonna say it's here. It's behind 12 and 14 current gen, but it's there. I think it is very, very overrated, because a lot of people think it's arguably the best 2K of all time. It's not even close to me. A lot of it, like, I'm gonna be honest. Just imagine if 2K16 came out and that was 2K24. 2K17 came out today and we would have played that this year. We would have been, bro, people would have been in an uproar. It was pretty much copy and paste. The gameplay was significantly worse. Like, people would have been thoroughly mad. It's just what it is. But it would be 9 times better than what the hell we played this year. But people would complain like crazy. And I don't think people remember how much they complained when 17 was out. Now, I will say, 17 had one of the best dribbling ever. Fact. I do think it was still pretty balanced in terms of gameplay, especially in comparison to what we have now. It might be a better game than 15. But I do think people kind of forget a lot of the issues that game had. The game had a lot of issues. And I think a lot of nostalgia speaks for people on that one, personally. 18. This is a game that low-key is kind of overhated, in my opinion, at this point, because I think when people compare, like, they talk about the worst 2Ks ever, I think people think 18 and they compare it to 18. 18 had its problems with the snatchbacks and blowbys, but it was actually pretty fun. But it was, I think Fortnite really clouded the judgment of 18 in a lot of ways, because a lot of people didn't play it as long as they played some of these newer games. Bro, you could argue 2K23 to 2K25 are all worse than 2K18. You could genuinely argue that. And that's not praising 18. That's really a knock on what the hell we've had the last 3 years, personally. Like, people were complaining from, I'm not gonna lie, people were complaining from 18 to 22. Brother, if I could go back. Like, I'm not gonna lie, those games are far better than what the hell we've had the last 3 years, personally. And I don't even think 23 was that bad, to be honest. But we're gonna get there when we get there. 18, honestly, I would say that ain't it. I'm gonna bring 13 down to trash, and I'm gonna say 2K18, that ain't it. 13 had its saving graces, but bro, the gameplay is some of the worst we've ever had. You literally couldn't block anything. You couldn't block, like, there's games where blocking was hard. You couldn't block anything on that game. You quite literally couldn't. Like, literally on that game, every layup went in. The interior defense was awful. Like, bro, I used to do online associations on 2K13. I remember this vividly. Joel Prisbilla was the most broken player in the game. He was a 60 overall, but he had 99 rebound. He would get every rebound. I would go right back up. It would be buckets. It was so OP. He was literally so OP. I got him in every single online association, every single time. Bro, like that. I ain't gonna lie. One thing I say about that 360 days that we don't get anymore because of Park, I think it's more so because of Park. That's what I want to say. But, bro, the hidden gem players like the Gerald Greens, the Terrence Ross, the Wilson Chandlers, bro, there's not nothing like that no more, man. Like the Joe Prisbillas, bro, there's nothing like that no more. We gotta, like, come on, bro, 2K. We can do something. I know there's players out there that we could do that with. You know what I'm saying? So I need y'all to figure this out, man. But yeah, I think 18 is a little bit overhated, but it's still not that good. It does have its issues. But you gotta think about it. It did not bring Pro-Am. Low-key, 16 even brought Pro-Am. I just thought about that. So, yeah. 18, that ain't it. 19, peak fun or nostalgia. I think is better than 15 right now. I think that there's issues on 15 that I just cannot look over when it comes to comparing it to 19. 19, the more I think about it and the more I look back at it, it might be the most balanced 2K we ever had. Dribbling, defense, shooting, builds, badges. Bro, that game was so balanced, bro. Animations. That game was so balanced. Now, it did have a lot of issues, like the pushing in Park. But I'm not gonna lie, as a person that played Park, but I played more 5v5 than I played Park, that wasn't as big of an issue for me personally. So, yeah. But I will say that's another thing that people kind of overlook with 17 to 19 is literally the peak dribbling of 2K. You could throw 16 in there too, but I think 16 to 19 is a step above 16. No, it's not 16. 17 to 19 is a step above 16. All three of those games, even 18. Even if you want to talk about the blowbacks and snapbacks. But the dribbling, if you just want to dribble on 18, you could do that. It was very good. But yeah, 19 was very good. 19 was very, very good. I think that is a discussion for it to be, you know what I'm saying, that best 2K. I don't know if you can really put it in those combos though. Honestly, it's not really peak fun or nostalgia. It's just really a good 2K. I'm throwing it up there, bro. That's the most recent best 2K. I'm throwing it up there, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That's the most recent best 2K. I'm not gonna lie. 2K20. Now this, for a lot of y'all, is peak fun nostalgia because of the pandemic. If it wasn't for the pandemic, this game would have been so hated. Now I will say it is very balanced. Now this is gonna be a hot take, but 2K21 current gen was better than 2K20 current gen. It was. I'm not gonna lie. But 2K20 was good. Looking back at it compared to what we have now, it was good. I would probably put it. I'm bringing 14 back down. I would probably put it right behind 17. I think both of these two games are easily, I mean easily, the two most overrated 2Ks ever. Like, the nostalgia carry. I'm not gonna lie, you could throw 15 in there because nostalgia carries 15 too, but 15 was actually, I don't remember anybody at the time complaining about 15 not being fun. 15 was that game was the epitome of fun. 20, it was so many things that they did from comparison to 20 and 19 that they ruined. Like, I won't lie, the build system of 20 wasn't bad, but and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of blew up off the build system of 20, so I have a bias in saying this, and I'm still going the other way. Like, I should love the build system, but 19, quite literally, the build system was so much better. The gameplay was so much better. The dribbling was so much better. Defense, not gonna lie, that's debatable. I'm not gonna lie. 2K19 defense was super balanced, but I do think defense was better on 20, if that makes sense. I'm not gonna lie, 2K20 is low-key. I've always been a person that went for contact dunks, but the rim run epidemic, 2K20 started it with fancy footwork, slippery finisher, all that. Nah, that 100% started that epidemic, bro. Like, everybody used to 300 or fade, bro. The rim run epidemic, bro. And all the people that rim run was terrible before this. Like, I was so far and away to by far the best slasher I would ever play against, and I could shoot like crazy. But 2K20, bro, the rim run epidemic was crazy. Now, I will say, I was nasty on 20 though. If we just did a rank, I may gotta do a ranking based on how good I was on 2K. For all of these 2Ks, because I'm not gonna lie, 2K25, yeah, nah, I'm not on that level. But 2K20, I was special. I ain't gonna lie, I was special on 2K20. I was lucky, man. I ain't gonna lie, I used to do the sub sessions, and y'all would literally, because I used to have like incentives for people to beat me. People would triple team me. Oh my goodness, I was giving y'all buckets. I may gotta bring back the sub sessions. I got some fun. I low-key got nostalgia for sub sessions. I gotta bring those back. But yeah, 2K20, bro, nah, it's overrated, but it's still great. It's still great. I even got some nostalgia for it. I was in the pandemic just like y'all, but yeah, it's great. 2K21, now this one I think is like anti-nostalgia because 2K20, people had so much nostalgia for that and they think it's worse. 2K21 was low-key better. The one thing that was an issue from 2K20 compared to 2K21 is the build variety. The issue is, though, there were the same, it was more builds on 2K21. It was just, bro, I kid you not. I said this earlier. Pandemic damn near ruined gaming. Bro, comp scene on 2K took, bro, the pandemic with all the wagers. Everybody wanted to be a wager demon. Everybody wanted to be a comp stage god. Like everybody thought they was the greatest 2K player of all time. So everybody just start running the same lineup they favorite YouTubers were running and making the same builds they favorite YouTubers were running. Like, that's just what it was. Now, 2K20 had a similar problem with the two-way slash but it was a lot more versatility with like the play shots. You had the offensive threats, the inside out playmakers, the playmaking glass. You had a lot of those builds are kind of the same thing, but they are a little different. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. But 2K21, everybody was a play shot. Everybody was a pre-lock. Everybody was a glass king finisher. Everybody. Now, I was different. I'm not gonna lie. I was special on 2K21, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Now, the issue with 2K20 and 2K21, it was a Zen epidemic. Now, I'm a person that talk crazy. I was doing the sub sessions. Nigga booted me offline, bro. He booted my shit for 2 years, bro. I was dealing with that shit till the start of 2K23, and by the grace of God, I got it fixed at the start of 2K23. But brother, I couldn't stream 2K21 current gen. I couldn't stream next gen 2K21. I couldn't stream all of 2K20. That damn near is my best 2K. If I speak. We gonna get there. But yeah, 2K21 current gen, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like 2K21 in terms of skill gap, that's one of the best skill gaps ever, bro. Like if you was a top lock, you was a top lock on that game. If you was a top guard, you was a top guard. If you was a top big, you was a top big. Like 15 had something like that. 16 had something like that. 2K11 had something like that. 2K19 had something like that. 2K21 for sure had that. For sure. That's probably the most recent one that I'd say is for sure like that. 17 had that. 20 is debatable because you could be a top guard and lock at the same time. So that's a little different. That's a whole different thing. I think 20 for twos was really good. For threes, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't that. 21 for twos, threes was way better on than twos. So it really does depend on what you play. I think 5v5 was still very good. I think 5v5 21 was really good. I'm a low-key say, this may be a hot take. I used to put 21 in good. I'm not gonna lie, I'm putting that up there with the greats. Low-key, I'm saying the greats. Low-key. That's a good tier. Now I ain't gonna lie, 14, you gotta go up there then. I ain't gonna lie, the greats. Not gonna lie, 21 current gen. I feel like it was super overhated because of the dribble glitch, but everybody could do it. So it wasn't like it was low-key a skill gap if you could or couldn't do it, to be honest. And if you win bro, I'm not gonna lie, people was like, if you could score doing the dribble glitch, you was like that because everybody was doubling you and blitzing you all game, and people was giving up that dump down because who could get the most threes off was the greatest. I was doing this on a non-play shot build. I was on a slasher. I did have a play shot, but I also had to play lock. Now I was really like that on 21. I'm not gonna lie. Nah, I got fond memories of 21. Nah, I'm not gonna cap. Now 21 next gen. This game had a skill gap. It was the defense, but the defense was so hard to play that it had no skill gap. Like anybody could score in this game. And this was kind of like, this entire next gen is kind of that, where like anybody could score on these games. Now, 22 had a skill gap. Next gen, I'm not ranking current gen because I didn't play it. I played it for some sub sessions, but I don't know how y'all played that, bro. That game was nowhere near next gen 2022. And that's when I was like, yeah, it's time to stop playing them PS4, Xbox One games. It's time to just stay on these Xbox X, PS5 games. Because, like, bro, it was, like, if you play 22 current gen and you think it's bad, you're going to be mad at where I rank it because I'm ranking it based off of just the PlayStation 5, Xbox One, or not Xbox One, Xbox X. But 2K21, this one, I do think it is overhated because it was very fun. But if you was to say, this is the 2K15 of modern day, I would slap the shit out you because it's not that. Like, it's not that. Like, 2K15 had defense. It had defense. You know what I'm saying? And if you wanted to score, it still took skill. 2K21, it took no skill, bro. You could dunk on anybody easily. This is why we have dunk meter, because how bad this game's like skill gap offensively was. It was so easy to do everything. And I think it's been a ripple effect of how easy offense has been since then for these next gen games. But yeah, 2K21 next gen, honestly, I thought it was overhated at the time because it was very fun. I'm not gonna lie, it was fun. At the end of the day, That's one thing I get. This 2K compared to the last 3. Really not the last 3, because 2K23 was fun. I'm kind of tripping on 23 a little bit. The last 2 for sure. I could play 21 all year and I would still have fun. It wouldn't really get boring to me because, like, the clips. You get crazy clips on 21. You can get crazy clips on these last 2 games, but you don't feel nothing. Like, you was getting stupid clips on 21, though. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I'm going to say... I'm probably going to say top of that ain't it. Probably going to have to do that. 22 next gen, I'm not gonna lie. Now, the issue I have with it, because I had issues on 15. The issue I have with it is the whites. But brother, no one was shooting like me against me. I never played against somebody. I played against one person that shot like me. He gave my lock 70, I had to give him 80. Like, bro, I'm not gonna lie. This was like anybody could score, but not everybody was getting 60 every game. I was getting 60 every game. Like, if I had 60, I damn near was losing a lot of games, bro. I'm not gonna lie. And it's not like I was shooting 40, 30 times. I was shooting like 20 shots a game, bro. But them threes was really flying. And I'm not gonna lie, skill gap being a lock was there. Like, if you was a lock, you could lock. That's why I'm like, bro, like, you play against the right team on 22, I think the 5v5 of 22 damn near the best we've had. Like, that was crazy. Like, I'm not gonna lie. The guard big combo with the locks was kind of crazy. Because, bro, if you had a real defensive team, you could lock some people for sure. Like, some really good guards, you could lock them. I ain't really experienced that much that year. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't really do that. I was kind of crazy. Once I figured out how to dribble, I'm not gonna lie. The reason why I kind of got like that, 2K22, my career Hall of Fame, that gotta be the hardest Hall of Fame we've ever had, bro. I remember that shit vividly, trying to get open on that. Whether it was trying to set the screen, bro, 2K22 my career was insane, bro. Like they was really, bro. If you try to throw lobs, bro, they was like. It's like you was playing against somebody trying to save a home run every time, but they soaring for them joints. Like, nah, bro, scoring on that, if you could score on that, you could score on anybody. And I had to, bro, that was probably the best, that or 19. That was probably the best dribbling 2K I had. And that's 2K22 by far the best dribbling 2K we've had on next gen. Not even close. But I will say, it doesn't compare to like it also doesn't compare to like, maybe even 15, 16 to 19. None of those. Like, even 18, 19, 17, 16, 15. It doesn't compare to those. But in comparison to the next gen 2Ks, I don't even know if it's better than 2K21 current gen. It's better than 2K20 current gen. 2K20 current gen, that 2K is probably the worst dribbling 2K we had on that whole era of consoles. I didn't play any of the games after 21 current gen. I played 22, but yeah. It's not, that don't really count. Actually, no, it's better than 21 because dribbling on 21 wasn't that good. It was better than 20, but it wasn't that good. But I did like the skill gap shooting wise, even though everybody, like, they had the real player percentage stuff. Like, it was really kind of easy to win on there, but it was kind of hard at the same time because everybody could shoot for the most part, but it came down to how good you could shoot over good defense. And I could shoot over it. I could get open on anything on that game, so yeah, bro, I really do enjoy that game. When I had a lock on there, I was stupid on there, bro. Only thing I don't really remember playing was big too much. That's the one thing. I don't really know too much about the experience of being a big. But for me, next gen, out of all the next gen games, this is probably the peak game out of all of them so far. 23, honestly, I would say 23 is good. I would honestly say it's good. 23 was good. It's a step down, but it's good. I think it has some good things on it, defensively, offensively. The bad system they tried a lot of stuff on there. I think they took a step back in a lot of ways, though. I think the shooting took the shooting is debatable. 23 shooting is debatable. I'm not gonna lie. Shooting on 23 is debatable. Rim running was kind of ridiculous. That's kind of the big issue. I think the defense was cool on there. I think the defense was low key. I think people think the defense was better on there than it was on 22, but that's not true. I think the defense on 22 was way better, like in terms of it was way easier to get steals on 22, which is not really a positive in my opinion. But the blocking, the interior defense on 22 was way better than it is on 23. That's not debatable. And just be able to just guard your man one-on-one was way better. What came into play was the screens. 23 may be better at that, but it was harder to score on 23 than it was on 22 because it was pure green. If you couldn't green, you couldn't shoot. That's just what it was. So I've seen a lot of people say that they struggle shooting on 23. 23 shooting was very easy to me. It just wasn't 22 shooting, personally. Dribbling wasn't as nowhere near as good as 22. It was pretty much a step down in every way from 22, in my opinion, personally. 24, that ain't it. Honestly, let's bring 18 is the best of the trash. 24 is that ain't it. 24 was not a bad game. It just was boring. You know, it was one of the most boring games 2K has ever made, hands down. Like, it wasn't a bad game. There was some good things on it. I'm gonna be honest. This is another 2K where I was 23, I was unguardable. 24. Bro, I was unguardable on there. I'm not gonna lie. Like, bro, I was unguardable. People struggled to shoot on that game. I don't really even understand how. Like, literally, I stopped playing that game for 2 months at one point, came back, and I still couldn't miss. And I was just shooting off of muscle memory. I literally wasn't looking at my dude. I was just holding X. And they've tried to take that out of the game, bro. I promise you, they had vibrations in the game. Oh my goodness, man, I ain't gonna lie. And then, yeah, 2K24 though, nah, just extremely boring. I would say I do think they improved on some things from 23. The game was just boring. I think it was too similar to 23. I think in some ways the game was just too similar to 23. I think they tried to make a 23 but better, and it didn't work personally, from my memory, and I didn't really enjoy it. Like, they changed the badge system. They did some things I just didn't like personally. So yeah, 24, this ain't it. And then 25, I think that this is the worst 2K ever made. I don't even like this. Like 18, I can have fun on there. 13, I can have fun on there. 25 is far more boring than 24, but 24 wasn't even a bad game. 24 was just boring. 2K25 is a bad game and it's boring. Like 18 and 13 are bad games. Those were at least fun. 2K25 is the most boring 2K I've ever played, and the game is horrible. Now, I'm not one of these people that say a game is bad every year and go back and be like, that game's good. Like 17, when that game was out, I was like, bro, that's not, like, looking back, it was a good game. I was low-key kind of hating on it when it was out. 2K20, I was kind of hating on it when it was out in terms of what's it called, but I thought it was cool. Like, my friends on 2K20, they weren't playing it, but I was on there. I enjoyed the game, but I never thought it was like even remotely in convos with 16, 11, and 19. I thought it was obviously a step down. 17 again, obviously a step down from 16. 12, obviously. I'm not gonna lie, I may be kind of hating on them games because they came after some of the best games we've ever had. I'm not gonna lie, putting that 19 cover, that damn near is modern day 11. The more I think about it. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, cause they do got Bron on the cover. That's after 2018 Bron too. That's one of the best covers we ever had. That low key, I ain't gonna lie. That might, and it's the 20th anniversary. Hey, that might be. Hey, that one might be the one. I'm not gonna lie. That one might be the one. But yeah, with that being said, bro, 2K got a pretty big, they got to do something this year now. I really had hope for 2K25, to be honest. I had a lot of hope. I have a lot of hope every year. Going into, because how boring 24 was, they had lost me. 2K is very good at marketing. I'm going to try not to fall for the marketing this year. This is my tier list, though, bro. Honestly, this is how I feel about it. I tried not to be too biased because, honestly, yeah. Nah, this is definitely based off. Yeah, this is my tier list. Y'all do one more of these. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. All that good stuff out the way. Without further ado, it's your boy Fitz, man. I'm out there, man. Now, I've been letting y'all off for a little while. 90%. Let me say it again. 90% of y'all aren't even subscribed. Now, I've been doing this for a little while now. Y'all, I know y'all mess with the content at this point. So subscribe. Subscribe. It's that simple. If you buying anything on Fortnite, Epic Games Store, use code YaboiFitz. I don't know why I ain't been had this, but yeah.
Tell them to bring me my money. Yeah!